Final game of the day from Cass Tech, and it could be our very best. Hometown Technicians, one of the best teams in the state of Michigan, hosting the Saginaw Heritage Hawks, a big club, a talented club, trying to make a statement in the PSL Holiday Classic. Evan Stockton, Lexi Ayala, alongside the rest of our outstanding crew here from Cass Tech. This is game 6 out of 6 that we have called here today. We've been here since 9:30 in the morning. No time to slow down, Lexi. This is going to be one heck of a game to round out the day. Cass Tech's got a lot of talent. Saginaw Heritage trying to prove something. It's going to be a really good game.
Hey, fingers crossed for last one, best one. Cass Tech has a lot of football players on their basketball team. I know that we're excited to see how that translates on the basketball court. They were phenomenal on the football field this year. So it's going to be a fun one. Cass Tech's known for being good at basketball as well.
Yeah, there's Corey Sadler and Sean Hodges on the basketball team for Cass Tech as well. But the guy that we're going to pay attention to all day, Darius Acuff, maybe the best sophomore basketball player in Michigan, a guy who has Division I offers, including from Eastern Michigan. Their head coach, Stan Heath, is in the house tonight. From a personal perspective, Lexi, when you're a player like Acuff, and every single time you walk in the gym, people know you're paying attention, how do you not let that get to you?
I wouldn't be the one to ask. I got a big ego, and my coach would always make fun of me. He'd say, here's Lexi scratching her ego all the time, but I feel like it would be hard not to let it get to your head. I mean, basketball is a sport that you have to play with confidence. It's a mental game, and sometimes it can be hard flirting with that line of confidence and cockiness.
It's a fine line, but everyone's trying to find it in life, and certainly when you're an athlete. We'll have tip on the other side. Technicians, Hawks, Cass Tech, Saginaw Heritage, final game of the day. It should be a good one. Glad you're joining us tonight. Come on back for tip right after this.
We begin with your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Final game of the day. Should be a good one. Cass Tech, Saginaw Heritage, two of the better teams in Division I hoops in Michigan. Couple of days after Christmas, Lexi, as you and I both know, the goal for these teams is to get to the Breslin Center right after St. Patrick's Day. Both these teams certainly have the talent to do it, and this is one of those games early on in the year where you figure out how good are we right now and how good do we need to get to potentially get to the Breslin Center in a couple of months.
That's right, and Cass Tech with just 2 freshmen on the team. One, the football freshman phenom, Corey Sadler, and Saginaw Heritage with just 1 freshman on the team. I hear a lot of coaches say, guess what, you're not a freshman anymore come the new year.
While we have a moment, we will pause for our national anthem here at Cass Tech.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Everywhere you look this time of year, people are running, and that's a great thing because running is an excellent exercise, especially for your cardiovascular and musculoskeletal systems. But the question is, are you running a safe running program? All too often, people are hobbled by things like shin splints and patellar tendonitis. But luckily, simple things like stretching and warm-up, the right running shoes, and realistic weekly mileages can keep you in your running game. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Back at Cass Tech, just heard the national anthem, that great recording of Whitney Houston at the Super Bowl.
Woo!
It is not an event in the Detroit Public School League unless we play Whitney Houston's national anthem.
Get you fired up, baby. I wish I could sing like a Whitney Houston or an Amy Winehouse. Woo-wee.
Don't we all? Because we wouldn't be
No.
here and we would be in our
No,
multi-million-dollar
really.
home in the warm, Lexi.
I'm telling you, if a genie came down to grant me 3 wishes, that would be one of them.
If a genie granted me 3 wishes, my first wish would be to have more wishes.
You can't do that. That's
Sure I
everyone
can.
knows that's literally against the rules.
I just quoted a Kid Cudi song and you didn't get it.
No, I'm taking this seriously, Evan. You can't do that.
This is going to be a great game tonight. Cass Tech against Saginaw Heritage. Starting 5 for the Hawks: Carrington Pryor, Ashton Rubio, Joss Bradley, Tyler Ode, and Braylon Isom. You're starting 5. And for the hometown technicians: Trayvon Cooper, Darius Acuff, Makai Walker, Christian Hairston, and Kenneth Robertson. 4 seniors in the starting lineup for the technicians. The only sophomore, Acuff, is one of the better high school basketball players already in the state of Michigan. And for the Heritage Hawks, Lexi, you got a bunch of juniors and seniors, but the thing that stands out when you look at their roster, these boys are big.
Big. There's only one player on the team under 6 foot. Of course, we have to take into account that with basketball, everyone adds a couple inches on the roster. I'm, 5'6", flirting with 5'7". On the roster, I was 5'10". Yes, I was. You know it. The shoes add a little something.
Yep. Here's Darius Acuff coming out of the floor with a great big smile. The gym filling in. We started the day with the Cass Tech women against Wayne Memorial, and now we end the day with the Cass Tech men against Saginaw Heritage. Environments like this, Lexi, are what make high school sports so much fun. A couple of days after the holidays, a lot of people off work, filling into the gym and ready to see some exciting basketball tonight.
I can't wait. Last game, best game, baby. This is going to be a good one.
So here's what's happened today in case you missed any of our coverage. Wayne Memorial won game 1 on the women's side over Cass Tech. Then Bloomfield Hills beat Pershing. Arthur Hill beat Douglas. Saginaw beat Henry Ford. Hamady just beat King. And now in the nightcap, a one we've been looking forward to since we got here early in the morning. We were drinking coffee then. We're now drinking water to keep the vocal cords warm. This is going to be a good one. Cass Tech against Saginaw Heritage. Cass Tech in the familiar white and green. Saginaw Heritage in the navy blue and green outlined in whites. Tyler Ode will jump center, and he'll do it against Trayvon Cooper. Cooper 6'5", Ode 6'5". Final game of the day. Off we go. Cass Tech wins the tap. Into the front court right away, and a smooth finish from Makai Walker.
Walker starting off right away, no hesitation, straight to the rack for an easy 2.
You got to imagine, Lex, on their home floor, Cass Tech trying to make a statement with the way that they start and finish tonight.
There's been a lot of teams here tonight, and they don't want to just make a statement to Saginaw Heritage, but their rival, King, was just playing the game before this.
Down low, a nice finish for 24. Tyler Ode.
Ode, way to gather those 2 feet and go up strong with authority off both. No fading away, straight to the rim.
Here's Walker, third-year starter on the varsity team, gave it up. Robertson gave it up. Hairston down low, and a tough shot off for Cooper. In transition, Ode rising and hitting from the corner.
Woo! Ode showing Cass Tech right off the rip. They'll have to respect him from the inside out. He can go from down low in the paint, but he can take it outside as well.
Now Acuff trying to take him to school. Cass Tech around the rim. In and out. Robertson off. Isom up the floor.
Ooh.
Braylon Isom getting fancy, lost the basketball. Darius Acuff for 2.
Cass Tech turning that defense into offense, and Saginaw Heritage, Tyler Ode didn't even want to risk the foul on the and one, just let him get the easy 2.
Man, Tyler Ode, 24, just a junior, but he sure looks the part. Corner kick, Rubio, no. Rebound, Cooper. And then he promptly gave it away. Pryor, handoff, Isom, no.
Pryor just a little bit off balance on that one, went off of 1 foot instead of 2. I love the strong off 2 post type of play down low, even from a guard when you're in the paint.
Lob, finish acrobatically by Cooper.
Cooper coming out strong today, a really athletic player. He's got a quick first step. You can't let him get behind you on those back doors.
Good pace and rhythm to this ball game so far. Rubio, great bounce pass to the corner. In and out on the 3 for Carrington Pryor. Cass Tech pushing tempo. Hairston off the deck with his left hand.
Hairston with a beautiful little hesitation, a switch of speed, gets the defense a little confused and off balance, gets Hairston all the way to the rack.
Taking a timeout here at Cass Tech. Technicians off to an 8-5 lead. Heritage wants to talk about it.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Back at Cass Tech. Good start to the ball game. Saginaw Heritage down 8-5. OD with the basketball. Way off on that 3. Pryor could not save it as it goes out of bounds.
I like the hustle, though, from Saginaw Heritage, trying at least to crash those offensive boards. They don't pull that one down, though.
Tyler Ode got Saginaw Heritage off to a good start, made it 3 early on in the ball game. But Cass Tech starting to find its footing. Downhill with a spin goes Hairston, and he's going to the line.
Hairston, I have a feeling we'll be calling his name a lot today. Hairston so quick off the dribble. Watch here as he just spins, puts the Saginaw Heritage defense in the spin cycle, and so quick after that spin, more importantly, to float himself all the way to the rim.
You know, this really is a fascinating team to follow throughout this high school basketball season. Cass Tech last year, look, everyone when they think of Cass Tech thinks of the football team. Football team that was an overtime loss to Belleville away this year from getting back to the state championship game. But this basketball team made the quarters last year. They returned 3 starters from last year. And oh, by the way, from the football team, they've got Sadler and Hodges on the squad as well. It's a really good mix of talent. Off the miss for Saginaw Heritage. It's Cass Tech basketball with Darius Acuff.
And I will admit, it's hard to find a lot of info on high school teams online as Cass Tech misses a 3 there. I would love to see Corey Sadler. He was such a freshman phenom type of player on the football field. I want to know how he translates on the basketball court.
Spinning inside, Bradley had it taken away. Cass Tech trying to turn D into O. Robertson fouled while shooting the 3.
Great defense by Cooper on Cass Tech's end to turn that defense into offense. And now to the free throw line, the technicians go again.
There's another look. That is clearly contact as the senior, Kenneth Robertson, was hacked. Well, Lexi, sometimes as a broadcaster, you just run into things. The guy about to check into the game for Cass Tech, number 0, the freshman in name only, Corey Sadler, is into the game.
Can't wait. I'm excited to see it. This is the basketball fan in me.
Corey Sadler, they don't exist. High school, freshman, football, recruiting rankings. If they did, this guy in 0, Corey Sadler,
number 1.
He may be, I'm not kidding, he may
Yeah.
be the best 2026 high school football player in America.
And let me tell you, he is humble. We talked about up top how you balance, the confidence and cockiness line, and Corey Sadler has it figured out. He is as humble as they come. I did so many interviews with him during the football season, him being the G of the game for us with the prep, and wow, he just every time thanks God, thanks his teammates, thanks his family.
Darius Acuff, give him 2 more and give Cass Tech a 9-point lead all of a sudden.
And Acuff, that type of player, once he sees one goes in, he gets into a streaky mode, and they continue to fall.
Foul that time on Sadler on the inbound. What I wonder here, Lexi, is if you're Saginaw Heritage, you're getting this game sped up. How do you get back into your system here?
You just have to start it on the defensive end. That's where all of the energy comes from. That's where the hype gets going and switches in momentum. You get some stops and you start feeling good about yourself. All of a sudden now shots are falling too.
OD meeting defense down low. Cooper kept his hands up. It's out of bounds.
I like that OD continues to be fearless in his attack. He continues to shoot even though he's missed some, got blocked on that one. But he has all 5 of Heritage's points right now. 2 down low and then a 3 from the outside, so he's got to continue to fire.
Off the inbound, Rubio misses the 3. Sadler rebound ahead. Acuff, no. We play on, no whistle. Hawks up the floor. Isom, yes.
Isom has those 2 large steps on the layup right there to slow himself down and get him focused on that rim, put those 2 points in, even with defense flying at him, trying to get the block.
Amari Johnson into the game. Passing right side to Robertson. Acuff on the patrol. 2 points.
Acuff has this shiftiness to him that's so fun to watch. I love the way that he changes the pace of his speed, and it just throws the defense off just enough to get that edge.
There's a steal. Robertson active hands, and the finish.
Robertson just flies up the court, and Saginaw Heritage has got to get back in transition defense. At this point now, they've allowed, just completely let with no contest, Cass Tech get a lot of points off of transition basketball.
Saginaw Heritage looking for any sort of answer right now. Cass Tech has dominated this game. Isom, floater, and he got fouled.
And hopefully for Saginaw Heritage, they can knock a couple down at the free throw line. Isom has got to lock in, laser focus here, and the entire team has to start to bring that energy up. They don't have many players on the bench, but the bench is important, especially with Saginaw Heritage being away at Cass Tech's gym. They have to get the bench involved and get some type of momentum and hype going.
Cass Tech has been liberal with the subs so far. Hairston comes out of the game. Acuff stays in the game. Number 3, Derek Miller has checked in for the first time. Isom splits the pair, 1 out of 2 for number 2 for Saginaw Heritage. Sadler with a basketball. Gave it up. Out of bounds off of Saginaw Heritage.
It would do some good for Sadler on that drive once the defense collapses. If he wants to make that dump down pass to the post, just make it a bounce pass. We've seen that happen a lot of times in that last King versus Hamady game. That entry pass, the dump down into the post, has got to be with a bounce.
Here's Sadler at the point guard spot, giving it up to Acuff. Freshman finding sophomore. Long bomb. Acuff, no. Rebound, Johnson. Reload, Cass Tech. Down low, all alone. Give Miller 2.
Good find by Robertson to hit Miller on that wide open duck underneath.
Isom splitting the defense. And he got stripped from behind. It's out of bounds off Miller, but that is outstanding defense by 3 in white and green.
Cass Tech just clicking on the defensive end and the offensive end, and they're intertwining. They're turning their defense into offense.
30-second timeout for Cass Tech. We will keep it here with 1:22 to go in the first quarter. Cass Tech leading Saginaw Heritage 20-8. There's Stephen Reynolds, the head coach for Saginaw Heritage, third year. Guy who played at Oakland University when they were going from the Division II to the Division I level. He's a guy who grew up around Saginaw, former JV coach at Saginaw Heritage. Right now, Lex, his work is cut out for him because Cass Tech has just had the pedal to the metal tonight.
And I wouldn't say that it's because of a lack of Saginaw Heritage effort necessarily. They're going for offensive boards, but they're just not running as quick and keeping up with the pace of Cass Tech.
Open look. Rubio misses. Rebound, ping-ponging off of bodies. It finds Johnson. Ashton Rubio has missed a couple of threes so far tonight. Hairston down low. Johnson traveled.
On the other end, for Saginaw Heritage with Rubio shooting, he's finding the spaces. He's finding those hula hoops, as I call them, the open pockets within the defense where you can move those feet, find those pockets, but he's just not hitting right now. And coach kind of giving him a pep talk on the bench right there about it. Keep firing.
Sean Hodges, the star running back for Cass Tech this year, is into the game on the basketball court, and he just fouled the Heritage Hawks. Hodges and Sadler on the floor for Cass Tech. Defensive coordinators across Michigan are having a nightmare all over again.
And I remember Cass Tech's football head coach Marvin Rushing told us that he loves that his athletes play multiple sports. It just continues to build that connection and the chemistry once it comes back football season.
Bradley was probing near the Cass Tech bench. It's out of bounds and staying with the Hawks. Cass Tech hoops off one of their best seasons ever last year. They have grander dreams this year. Shot fake for Charles Cork. His jumper was off, and it's Cass Tech basketball.
And it just looks like Saginaw Heritage is playing a little bit timid. They're finding good shots, but they're not pulling up with confidence. You have to, as a shooter, think every single shot that leaves your fingertips is going in.
How do you not play tentative anymore, Lexi?
I mean, you just have to trust that the work that you put in practice or in the off season is going to pay off, and it's all about preparation, leads to success and leads to confidence.
15 seconds to go, first quarter, in a quarter that's been dominated by the home team. Acuff stops, passes, Hodges, shot fake, inside, no. Odie, the rebound that closes the quarter, a quarter that Cass Tech really did not want to end. Saginaw Heritage got off to a good start, but Cass Tech rifling through the bodies. 9 have played already. Whoever's out there is working well for the Texans so far tonight. 12-point lead after a quarter of ball.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Start of the second quarter in our final game of the day at Cass Tech. Hometown club wrapping up the full morning, afternoon, and night of basketball. Our first game was the Cass Tech women against Wayne Memorial at 11 in the morning. This game started just before 8 at night. And Lexi, after that first quarter, it's hard not to be impressed with what Cass Tech has got on that floor.
Cass Tech is really doing it. It's clicking. They're starting it on defense. They move the ball well on offense. They control it. The pace especially of this basketball game, but it's Saginaw Heritage who can easily get back into this game. 12 points really isn't anything in basketball, but they have to start playing with confidence and believing in themselves for them to even have a chance.
Stephen Hall, 8th season as the head coach here at Cass Tech. He's an alum, played college ball, played ball overseas, and he is building quite the program here. A true contender in the state this year. Good defense leading to another unforced error for Saginaw Heritage.
Cass Tech off to a good start this game, but also to their entire season so far. 3-0 with wins against Brownston, Woodhaven, Canton, and Macomb, Dakota.
That was a tight one against Canton, only won by 7. Great backdoor cut. Acuff after an awesome feed.
Acuff plays really well with the ball in his hands, but what's cool to me is star high school players normally are able to just play with the ball in their hand and create for themselves, as Saginaw Heritage finally knocks down a 3, but Acuff moves so well off the ball as well.
Oh, and look at that pass.
Ooh, but look at that block.
Acuff finished. How was that not a goaltend?
You know, I would need a second look at it. I was just excited about a big block, but Acuff not giving up on the play, crashing the offensive boards and getting second chance points.
Josh Bradley on the last offensive trip for Heritage hit a 3, and now he draws a foul. All right, let's get another look here. That's a goaltend.
I feel like he might have got it in time. It looked like the ball was still going up, you know. Maybe I need another one.
Hey, you're the expert. I trust your opinion more than I trust my own.
I just like big blocks, so.
It's a foul on Sadler. That's his second.
Sadler playing a little football on the basketball court. You're allowed to foul, you know, in football. So this could be a tough translation with basketball.
Corey's going to have to come out. We'll bring out number 0 and bring a fresh body onto the floor for Cass Tech. That's Kenneth Robertson. Heritage body fell to the floor, no call. Isom, that was a way too hard pass inside. Cass Tech running bodies up the floor. Defense to offense. Walker for 2.
Woo, what beautiful team basketball by Cass Tech. Couple quick passes. Almost a 3-man weave-ish rotation.
Acuff off the glass, and Hairston laid it in.
I don't think Hairston knew exactly what Acuff's idea was right there, but Acuff letting him know, hey, I got you, buddy. I'm getting you the assist here.
Timeout at Cass Tech. We'll take it with them. The hometown technicians putting on a show in our final game of the day. 17-point lead, and we're not even 2 minutes into the second quarter.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
Cass Tech 3-0 and well on their way to 4-0, at least by the way this early part of the game has gone. They're up 28-11 right now. Stephen Hall, 8th-year head coach. Again, when you think of athletic talent at this school, all the football players come to mind right off the top, but Chris Douglas Roberts, once upon a time, was here, was on one heck of a Memphis team back in the day with Derrick Rose. And there is a lot of basketball talent here as well, Lexi. We have seen it firsthand so far tonight. This is a fun team to watch when they're rolling.
And it looks like Saginaw Heritage is just a little afraid of stepping up to this challenge with all of the athletes on Cass Tech's end.
Heritage got off to a good start, and then the Cass Tech intensity, athleticism has been turned up to 11 here.
Hey, number 2, stop flopping.
It's Cass Tech who's kind of just stunned Saginaw Heritage today. One player on Saginaw Heritage, though, that doesn't look like he's backing down to the challenge whatsoever is Tyler O'D.
How did that go in?
I wish I could give an explanation on that one. I'm not good at geometry and angles and whatnot, but somehow it went in.
They gave that one to Odie, by the way. Basket for Cass Tech on the other end. Acuff has 12. A lot of moving parts. No whistle. Shot no good. Tapped ahead by Cass Tech. Numbers for the technicians. Whistle and a foul as Robertson brought it out.
And the shots that Saginaw Heritage is taking, they aren't in rhythm. They're not in a transition. They're not even within the offensive set. It's just kind of like, oh, shoot, I'm all of a sudden open. Let me just throw it up and hope that one goes in. But they're never going to fall that way. They've got to start cutting and working it from the inside out, get some paint touches.
In and out, OD the rebounds, and a foul on Cass Tech. So for Saginaw Heritage, look, you're on the road, score is what it is, but how do you not panic and take it one play, one possession at a time in a game like this?
You just have to dig in and take it personal. When I've played in games where it's a blowout off the rip, I just start focusing on myself, honestly. Okay, how many points can I get? How many assists can I get? How many steals can I get? I just start trying to pat my own stat sheet, honestly, and play my game and say, hey, you know what? Our team might be getting blown out, but you're not going to beat me one-on-one. I'm going to take it personal, and I'm going to make sure I do whatever I can, at least to make myself look good. I don't know if that sounds like that cocky line or not, but
I mean, it's honest.
Yeah.
We appreciate your honesty, Lexi. We always do.
Always going to bring that.
Tyler O'D has 9 points in this game for Heritage. Look, there's more than half the second quarter to go. This game is far from over, but Saginaw Heritage, as you say, Lexi, has just looked outgunned at times.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Sanders passed right for a three that went in and out. OD the rebound after the miss by Miller. Hawks up the floor. A lot of contact, no call. This is Cass Tech basketball. Robertson for Miller. Nearly threw it away. Drive, block. Hawks with the defense. Up the floor they come.
Good block by Noah Arnold, making sure to be on the help line.
OD off on the three. Rebound Robertson for Cass Tech. Here's Isaiah Sanders passing to Miller. In and out. Sanders bumped and fouled from behind.
Late call from the ref, but better late than never. Definitely a lot of contact on the play, and even if it's just a tiny little push in the back, that's a call every time. Watch here as Sanders goes up for the offensive board, and just a little nudge in the back, that's enough to throw you completely off balance, send you to the free throw line.
Cass Tech has played 11 different players already in this game. Number 2, Sean Hodges is back onto the floor. Darius Acuff and Trayvon Cooper joining him. Christian Hairston back onto the floor as well.
Meanwhile, Saginaw Heritage has only 4 players on the bench dressed to play in this game.
Isom up the floor for Saginaw Heritage. He lost the ball. Cass Tech the other way. Hodges slows it up briefly.
Saginaw Heritage is just struggling a lot in transition. They're getting some fast break opportunities, but completely fumbling the bag on almost all of them, committing a turnover each time.
Stand back to get it for the Technicians. Acuff wants the ball. He's motoring right and scoring again. 14 points for the super sophomore.
Acuff has had some good games this season. He's had a 22-point game in the win over Dakota and a 24-point, 6 steal, 6 assist game versus Woodhaven.
So there's only 2 players, Lexi, in foul trouble for Cass Tech. It's the 2 football players, Sadler and Hodges.
Would you look at that? I'm telling you, Evan, it is harder to translate a football player to a basketball player. I totally believe that wholeheartedly. I do.
Pryor missed the free throw. Here comes Cass Tech. Hairston for Hodges. Acuff. No. Hodges offensive rebound. Bounce pass missed Cooper. Saginaw Heritage ball.
And a great example of the confidence that we're talking about, or for Saginaw Heritage, is then the lack of confidence. They could, take a little tip out of Acuff's textbook here, because even on a miss, he pulls that trigger with so much confidence and leaves that hand in the air. It looks like it's going in, even on his misses, and he shoots that ball with all of the confidence in the world.
I believe the phrase is fake it until you make it. Sadler back on the floor. Bounce. Corey found Hairston. Counted and one.
Great 2-on-1 between Sadler and Hairston. Sadler aware enough on the basketball court to keep that ball in his hands long enough to draw the defense into him and emphasize him just enough to hit that dump pass. And this time it was a bounce pass, so no hands got on it.
This is a 20-point lead for Cass Tech. Hard not to be impressed with them right now.
Right.
Pryor being pressured. OD has a bunch of bodies around him, and he got blocked. Follow, no. Third shot, no, and a foul.
I'm someone who loves physical basketball. I play the street ball, so I think the no call is wonderful, but I do think that OD got fouled on this one. He goes up strong and, yes, gets hit in both arms and hands. That should have definitely been a foul call. I think the refs decided to make up for it on the offensive board, going back up for 2.
After all that, Charles Cork is going to the line, but you may have seen at the end of that replay, OD's got his hands up going, where is the foul call?
I would have been too. This is a physical game, and I think OD could have been to the foul line a couple more times today had there been just a couple more whistles.
One more coming for 23. Charles Cork, the second. Senior missed the second. Acuff with the ball for Cass Tech. Here's Corey Sadler. Bounce pass, Hairston. Inside, Sadler. They are triple teaming him. Saginaw Heritage creates the tie-up. It is going to stay on this end, but there's some effort that they've been looking for.
Sadler had a nice backdoor cut, found just enough space to get the entry pass inside, but he just hung on to the ball too long, allowing 3 players on defense to stick on him.
Acuff. Oh, what a pass off the inbound, and Darius is really cooking.
Acuff off the ball is so mesmerizing to watch. That first step flies by the defense.
Acuff's got 16, and Hairston just blocked Arnold on the other end.
Big block by Hairston. He was running the court for that block coming from behind. Almost LeBron James style block on that one.
You know, Lexi, all the high school parents who watch back these broadcasts are going to love the fact that you just compared their kid to LeBron James.
I said almost. You know, if it would have been closer to the rim, then it was for sure a LeBron James style block. But it was close. We can still give him the nod.
The way he's still playing at his age is really unreal.
It's unreal.
And it's unreal that the Lakers still stink. That's out of bounds off Tyler Odie.
I don't even want to talk about that. Let's get back to Cass Tech.
Yes, let's get back.
Lakers.
Let's get back to Cass Tech, shall we? Darius Acuff trying to put Pryor in the spin cycle. Darius going to work. Rebound, Lee Harris got fouled.
Saginaw Heritage has got to do a better job at putting that butt into the offense and pushing them out of the paint. It's just too easy right now for Cass Tech to pile up offensive boards, and that was with Cass Tech being a 1-on-3 opportunity right there where they still pull down the offensive board and go back up.
Yeah, the guy who got boxed out there, number 30, Noah Arnold. He's a 6'7" freshman, so he's only getting bigger. But it's important for a guy like that, Lexi, number 30 in blue and green, to get moments in a game like this. First half early on. Get yourself some experience.
That's right, and Saginaw Heritage doesn't have, like we've talked about, a deep bench. So today, in a game that is starting to look like it might be an out-of-reach type of game, would be the perfect game to get him into.
Pryor, great pass. Rubio hits his first three.
And Rubio's got to feel good about that one. He's had quite a few open looks today and knocks that one down. What I like about Rubio is even with those misses, he fires without hesitation.
Yeah, he's taken 4 threes tonight, just got his first one to fall. Sadler, hop step, got blocked by that freshman Arnold.
Good by Arnold to come in with the help because it was Rubio who did not chop his feet and slide fast enough to cut off Sadler on the drive.
The inbound for Christian Hairston. Sadler working on Rubio, moving right, and he got fouled.
Sadler would do well from driving the basketball more or finding those backdoor cuts and just going up quick without a dribble. That's when he plays his best, when he's going at the rim.
No good on the first for Corey Sadler. High school football fans in Michigan will remember all of his exploits as a DB and wide receiver this year, but the plan is for Corey to play quarterback next year.
Yeah, he was almost QB1 this year, and it was a tough toss-up. But Coach decided that he needed 2 of his best guys out on the field at the same time.
Yeah, LaShawn Mumfield ended up winning the job and took Cass Tech mere inches away from getting back to the state championship game.
And I think that's also why Sadler's game, driving and slashing, is going to be so strong this year for him, because he is absolutely not afraid of flying into some contact and absorbing that to get to the free throw line.
Acuff with the ball for Cass Tech. Miller dribble handoff for Robertson. Acuff looking for airspace. Miller alone. Yes! OD for Saginaw Heritage. Fall away, Jay, not close.
OD just taking it one-on-one.
And then Acuff tried to get too cute.
Yeah, so Saginaw Heritage gets a second chance opportunity here at trying to chip into this game. And it's OD who's really trying to take this game into his hands, but he can't just settle on one-on-one basketball.
Saginaw Heritage has been behind the 8 ball from the beginning. This has been a really great effort from Cass Tech. OD. That was from the parking lot. Rebound Johnson.
OD on that one. You can't pick up your dribble. He thought twice about shooting that because he was looking for a pass first.
Home run pass ahead. The leak out for Walker for 2.
And another one where Cass Tech just gets up the court in transition way before Saginaw Heritage can catch up.
OD in the middle of that probing defense, traveled with the basketball.
OD trying to work that pivot foot, get a couple shot fakes up, get the defense to fly by, but switches feet and gets the call.
Few ticks to work for Cass Tech in a dream first half. Got to move quickly. Deep. Bomb. Miller. No. And that is about the only thing that went wrong for Cass Tech in the first half.
Their ball screens look beautiful. It opens up so much space for three-point shots, and then the defense gets scared of the 3 ball, runs right at you, and then Cass Tech takes advantage of that driving game.
the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Back at Cass Tech, a lot of people in the gym for the first half. Going to the bathroom, getting a bite to eat after watching the technicians play just really great basketball in that first half. 43-19, technicians all over a good Saginaw Heritage team. Evan, Lexi, rest of our crew, glad you're joining us for our final game of the day. We're off to Renaissance High School tomorrow. We've been at Cass Tech today, and Lexi, these technicians, they're a heck of a basketball team, huh?
This is all Cass Technicians basketball in this one. Saginaw Heritage, hopefully they're getting a fire lit under them in the locker room just like King did and make this a little bit of a comeback type of game in the second half.
Yeah, just frustration for Saginaw Heritage. You got off to a decent enough start, but Cass Tech just playing brilliant basketball throughout that first half. Tyler Odie with a good start, Lexi, for Saginaw Heritage. Shot down low, and then that pop from the outside, but as that half went along, Cass Tech was just too much on both ends.
Cass Tech running in transition the same way that Hamity did, and it's Saginaw Heritage that's just not getting back and playing good defense in transition. Meanwhile, Cass Tech with some big blocks, they're getting back in transition, they're making big plays, and even when the offense is in its set offense and they have to slow down and run things in their plays, they run things beautifully. They set great on-ball, off-ball screens, create a lot of spacing. They play team basketball, and it's balanced scoring attack from Cass Tech.
That was maybe one of my favorite plays of the first half when Acuff put it off the glass and they had to lay it in instead of the dunk. Even when you're scoring, but it's not cool enough when you score, that's how you know it was a good first half.
And Acuff just being such an unselfish teammate. In a game like this, he can easily drop 30 points. He's the caliber type of player that can score prolifically, but he wants to get those assists up. He wants to get his teammates involved, and that's what creates a high morale.
What a first half of ball for Cass Tech. Darius Acuff, number 5, the super sophomore, leading all scorers with 16. Hard not to love what Cass Tech was doing. If you're a fan of hoops, you're a fan of the PSL. They are putting in work so far tonight. A 24-point lead at the break.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. We all know that our wives and daughters deserve special attention, but that's especially true when it comes to their knees. Do you know that females are at a 2 to 5 times risk compared to their male counterparts when it comes to blowing out their knees? It doesn't seem fair, but it's true. The reasons include the way females are made and the way they fire their muscles. But fortunately, there are injury prevention programs out there that can greatly decrease this risk of injury. And if you do know a female who blows out her ACL, don't despair. We have neat, innovative, minimally invasive ways to fix their knees and get them back onto the field. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
We begin with your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Back at Cass Tech, final half of basketball and a day full of it. We got here early in the morning. 11 a.m., tip time between the Cass Tech women and Wayne Memorial. Then it was Bloomfield Hills Pershing, Detroit Douglas, Saginaw Arthur Hill, Saginaw Detroit Henry Ford, King, Hamady, and now Cass Tech against Saginaw Heritage. Whether you've been with us all day or whether you're just joining us for the last little bit of today, for our entire crew, and for my broadcast partner on the last couple of games, Lexi Ayala, Evan Stockton, saying thank you. The names that are working our broadcast tonight: Robert, Evan, Christian, Austin, Rob, David, Chris. We've had people all over the place today. We are also doing coverage of Ferndale St. Mary's right now. That's why Chad Bush ditched us a couple of hours ago. But seriously, there is so much work that goes into days like today, not just on our broadcast side, but all the administrative folks here at Cass Tech, and we'll see it at Detroit Renaissance tomorrow. So just a quick thank you to everyone who's been working on our crew, behind the scenes, and also everyone behind the scenes today. You don't put on events like this, Lexi, without a ton of help. It takes a village. It takes a village. I love that saying. And I think that everyone's done just such a tremendous job. I know I haven't been here since the morning, but it's been wonderful. Evan, I am wondering, though, since I wasn't here in the morning, what's been your favorite game so far? I know this one's not done, but it's not the closest game. So what's been your favorite? Probably the first one. Yeah? Cass Tech Wayne Memorial was a one-point game. Came down to the final shot, yeah. I love that. Girls basketball beating out the boys. It's hard to beat a good girls game. Come on now. Fundamentals are crazy. Yes. Fundamentals. Saginaw Heritage just looking for some life here in the second half. That is a sweet pass. Rubio misses the three. Rubio letting out a little frustration on that one. He's had a lot of open opportunities, only knocked down one tonight. Going to stay on this end. You know, while we have a second as well, really cool moment tonight here. We have an all-female officiating crew. Delonda Little, Randall Henry, Kamaria Douglas. Congratulations to all three who have done a great job working this game tonight. That is a great job by Hairston getting to the basket. And I noticed as our game plays on YouTube, I pull up the little live chat once in a while, and someone commented and said, this is the first time that they've ever seen all-female refs, and I love that. Hopefully we see it a lot more. Isom the shot fake and the finish for two. I think, frankly, Lexi, the biggest credit to this officiating crew, I didn't notice it was all females until someone told me at halftime. Hey, there you go. They're doing a tremendous job tonight, and I love that. They're letting these teams play a little bit physical tonight. Basketball's a physical sport, gosh dang it, and they're letting them play it. Acuff bounce, great cut and finish for Cooper. Acuff just racking up those assists right now. Such an unselfish basketball player. He finds the cutters. He keeps his eyes up the entire time. You never see him look down at that basketball. Isom has space, and he's going to the line. So if you're both teams here, Lexi, we'll start with Saginaw Heritage, then we'll go to Cass Tech. What are you trying to get out of the second half? Saginaw Heritage, you are trying to get at least bare minimum effort. Not giving up, not lying down. In this type of game for Saginaw Heritage at this point, I think it's just kind of a character-building game. Who's going to step up when times are tough, when things are looking as bad can be? Who puts that chip on their shoulder and says, you know what, I'm just going to fight through this? That's what coach is looking for in this type of game. You can learn a lot about your team even when the score is not where you want it, and I think Saginaw Heritage is going to learn a lot about themselves here. Cass Tech's going to get to play pretty much every healthy body. Odie with a good block. Now he runs the break. Pryor slows it up. He turned it over. Isom back to get it. Up ahead to Odie. Odie for Pryor, who shoots and makes it. Wow, honestly, a little shocked that shot went in by Pryor. Not because it was a bad-looking shot by any means. It looked good, but he hesitated on that one, thought twice about it. Normally that's enough to make you miss, but that one, shooter's touch, rolls her in. Yeah, usually when you think twice about it, it's a bad decision. Right. Free throw line jumper up and good for Mekhi Walker. I love the free throw line jumper, especially once you get to the college and professional level. You don't see too much of it. They want to just chuck up three balls. Steph Curry really changed the game. But I love working at mid-range that we're seeing today in these high school games. Pryor got blocked on that second three-point attempt. Inside, a good look. Wave it off. Offensive foul on Walker. Good by Saginaw Heritage to get back this time. Cass Tech was running quick and transition. Had some nice passing. Good team basketball. Perfect dump down. But Saginaw Heritage does the right thing by getting back and gets a call. So Saginaw Heritage will inbound the ball as Corey Sadler comes back into the game. Kai Walker leaves. Cass Tech has played 12 different players already tonight. OD, turnaround. A little bit off. Rebound Hairston. Pass ahead, Cooper. He got blocked and fouled by Isom.
It did look like a clean block at first by Isom. And even though on offense, Cass Tech didn't make any passes on that one, Rubio has to get back here. That could have been a 2-on-1 transition type of play. Instead, it's Cooper who takes it for himself and goes to the free throw line.
First one good.
Cooper had 12 points, 10 rebounds, a good little double-double, and, oh, not to mention 4 blocks against Woodhaven. He had a nice little game there.
This is a 26-point lead. I did not think we'd see that when we showed up today. Isom. Odie in the corner. Good ball movement for Saginaw Heritage here.
I was just going to say that.
Isom floater. Tough roll out. Got his miss. Follow. Rolls in for Cork.
Good by Saginaw Heritage to stay patient on that possession. Wait to see what the defense gives them. Wait for the defense to make a mistake and then commit.
Acuff falling away. Missed the tough shot. And a foul on the floor as both teams were going for the rebound.
And I'm surprised that Cass Tech has been throwing on this full court press on Saginaw Heritage with such a large lead, but Cass Tech not wanting to let off the gas. In games like this, for teams like Cass Tech, you want to pedal to the metal the entire way through and kind of just use this game as a statement piece.
Going back to Saginaw Heritage, who's played 8 guys today. Steal for Cooper for Cass Tech. No whistle. There was a lot of contact there.
There was.
And Isom got fouled there. Hey, they're letting the boys play tonight.
They are. And I'm not even going to complain about it because normally I complain about there being too many whistles. Though I do think there could have been a couple more today. It's been fun. Physical basketball.
Great jobs by our officiating crew the entire day. Isom in front of his bench. Into Cork. Nice fake. And he drew the contact.
Good by Cork to face up to the basket and attack. Honestly, on that possession, Saginaw Heritage, though they're being patient and moving the basketball around, each player who touched it didn't even look at the rim. You still have to, even if you're running a set play, look at the rim, and if you're open, shoot the dang basketball.
If you're open, shoot the dang basketball. Has that been put on a t-shirt yet?
I can put it on a t-shirt if you'd like one.
Well, just tell everyone watching this broadcast not to steal your idea, all right?
I already patented it, everybody. Don't try it.
There you go.
I hope they believed that.
I think they're kind, caring folk. They'll believe you.
Good.
Why not? Why not? Johnson the give up right side. Miller motoring left. How did he make that shot?
Woo. Miller with his eyes laser focused on the rim, absorbed the contact without the call, and that jab step gave him just a shoulder pass with that first step to get into the lane in the first place.
Rubio again. No good. Rebound out of bounds off of Cass Tech. Look, Ashton Rubio, number 12, is not having a good night shooting the ball, but what's the old phrase? Shoot or shoot? How do you get out of a slump? You keep shooting.
That's right. Shoot through it, and he has a good attitude about it. He smiled, laughed that one off.
That's a great pass from Rubio to Isom. Saginaw Heritage found the space. Bradley for 2.
Isom made the space for Bradley by stealing some of the defense behind him on his back. Kind of already started a box out before the shot went up.
Acuff fouled. It's on Cork.
Acuff just really knows how to draw contact. His shiftiness gets the defense off balance and more likely to commit a foul.
Darius Acuff hasn't scored yet in the second half. Frankly, he hasn't had to. 16 points for already one of the best high school players in Michigan. Just a sophomore.
Acuff, you can see it in his eyes when he gets into that attack first mentality. Right now in this game, like you said, he just doesn't need to. He wants to be an unselfish player, get some assists, get his teammates involved, and that's what he's been focusing on this second half.
Just a couple of free throws there, though. Cork, bounce, freshman, no. Arnold missed. OD going to the line.
I will say, we've seen some college coaches in the house. Stan Heath, Eastern Michigan's head coach, is one of them. And I will say that I learned this from Susie Merchant, actually, Michigan State's women's basketball head coach. She said she purposely goes to a game that she knows will be a blowout win for a player that she's recruiting so that she can see how that player interacts with their teammates, if they're being an unselfish basketball player and looking to create things for their teammates instead of just themselves, how they act on the bench when they're pulled and have to sit the entire fourth quarter. She wants to see the character come out of these type of players, and I know that's something that Coach Heath, and if there's still any other college coaches in the house, are looking for in Acuff as well, and he's doing that, being very unselfish.
Well, the coaches we've seen here, Lex, have not left, and that's why they're not leaving. You learn a lot when really there's nothing on the line.
Yeah.
Tough roll out. Bradley missed it, but he got his miss. OD. No. Rebound loose. The Hawks are still fighting, and Bradley pays it off.
Good for Bradley and really the entire Hawks team on that possession to not give up, even with such a large deficit. The hustle is still there. The effort is still there. They're playing gritty, and they still want this basketball game.
You can learn a lot about a team when it's not going to go your way, and Saginaw Heritage is battling. Acuff. Man, that's smooth.
He's just got such a beautiful shot. It looks robotic. It's the same exact shot every time, and it's beautiful every time.
We'll take a timeout. Under 2 minutes to go. Third quarter. Acuff just got one to go, and Cass Tech is rolling.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom.
On the diamond. In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Stephen Reynolds, third year as the head coach for Saginaw Heritage. Division I school, just under 1,400 kids. You know, it was cool, Lexi, covering all these games today. We had Detroit Douglas earlier today, which has about 130 students. You get to the end of the day, and you have Cass Tech and Saginaw Heritage, which have 7 times that.
Wow, and I thought my school was small. I graduated with 86, but we definitely had more than 130 in the entire school.
I forget what the graduating class was at Detroit Catholic Central my year.
It's got to be bigger than 86.
That was a little bit bigger than that, yeah. It was like 220.
Yeah, it's fun.
Cass Tech tried to save it along the end line. It is out of bounds as Stanton couldn't do it. We've been at Cass Tech all day today. Prep will have coverage tomorrow at Renaissance. The coverage will start at 12:45. Hope you can join us. First 2 games, Mumford and Harper Woods, Renaissance Hamtramck on the women's side, then Southeastern Roseville, Western Robichaud, and Renaissance E-Course to round out the day. 5 more games of hoops tomorrow after 7 total on the Prep today.
Whew. Busy day for the Prep.
Just a little bit. OD3, short. Rebound, reload. Isom in and out. OD, yes! What effort!
Odie, come on, show us some emotion. Feel good about yourself for that one. He has a good-looking three-point shot just off the mark, but crashed the offensive board on his teammate's three-point shot and ice him. Gets down there and goes back up with some prowess. Pat yourself on the back for that one, buddy.
You know, this effort for Saginaw Heritage, Lexi, has really been impressive to watch in the second half. They're getting second and third opportunities, it feels like, every trip.
And I do think, like King, Saginaw Heritage got into that locker room at halftime, lit a fire under their athletes, and told them, hey, you know what? You know what practice is going to be like if you don't bring the effort this second half.
In our first game of our final two tonight, King trailed Hamady by 19 at halftime and did get it to a 7-point game in the second half. Hamady ended up winning the game 71-58. Go watch the replay when you can. That was an awesome effort by the Hawks. Sadler. No. OD rebound. Finds Bradley. Spinning. Kicking. OD. Rebound tapped. Another second shot coming for Saginaw Heritage. Bradley spinning again. Meeting tough defense. And he got fouled.
Bailed out is Bradley on that one by Cass Tech. Cass Tech really did not need to foul. They had two on Bradley right there with hands straight up and high. If they just played good defense, they would have been able to settle on a tough shot instead.
Bradley makes the first. 8 points in the game for the 6'2" junior. Saginaw Heritage, a lot of talent, but it's a team, Lexi, to use that old sports cliche. They're learning how to win. They've had 3 straight losing seasons. They're 3-2 entering tonight. Bradley's 3 off. Oh, he saved it though. What an effort by Josh Bradley.
Love to see that by Bradley, and this Hawks team just absolutely not laying down, not giving up. They're continuing to crash offensive boards, and really it looks like Cass Tech is the team that's playing a little bit stagnant right now.
Is it hard not to be stagnant when you've been up by this much, pretty much the whole game?
I mean, Hamady wasn't. They stayed on that gas the whole game, kept running in transition. We probably seen 12 dunks in that game.
Acuff finishing over Isom. Bradley into the front court for Saginaw Heritage. Gotta go, 3 seconds. Isom being guarded. He shoots.
Oh.
And it almost went in. Off to the fourth. Cass Tech closing out a win over Saginaw Heritage. 19-point lead. 8 minutes to go.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
To the fourth quarter, the final quarter in 6 games today at Cass Tech. Evan Stockton, Lexi Ayala, our entire crew, glad you've joined us at any point. A lot of basketball has happened today. A lot of basketball will happen tomorrow at Detroit Renaissance. But for today, we say thank you, and we also say thank you to all the teams that have showed up today and entertained us with great basketball. Tonight, Lexi, not hard to be entertained by the way that Cass Tech has played pretty basketball all night long.
I mean, are we sure it's the 27th and not the 25th? It feels like Christmas with all this basketball going on. They're giving us a show. I feel like I've just been given a gift.
You thought about that driving here, didn't you?
I actually did it. I came up with that on the spot.
All right, whatever you say.
Swear.
Darius Acuff, no. Sadler, rebound, foul, Pryor.
Sadler, now Cass Tech is starting to crash some offensive boards for themselves again. They were dominating the boards in the first half, but now Saginaw Heritage coming out of the locker room in this second half, coming back with a different type of energy. We'll see if Sadler and the rest of this Cass Tech team can swing the momentum back the Technicians' way.
Here's Corey Sadler to the line. Couple of points for Corey from the free throw line today. Selfishly, Lexi, for all us high school sports fans here in Michigan, hoops, football, you hope a guy like Corey Sadler sticks around for 4 years. That was what was so unique about the great quarterback for Detroit King, Dante Moore. Lord knows he could have gone to one of those great prep academies, but he wanted to stick around, and you hope Corey Sadler sticks around and doesn't end up at IMG or one of those crazy academies.
And Kings football head coach Ty Spencer talked about how he's so appreciative of Dante Moore sticking around, because he absolutely said he was getting recruited by everywhere and their mom for him to come play, and he's stuck with King. He loves Detroit, he loves his city, and he loves his team. Stuck around, and wow, what a team King was in football.
Isom driving. That is a tough finish. Dante Moore, now a UCLA Bruin.
Yeah, he switched up on us.
He did. He did.
Shocked me.
Nothing shocks me in collegiate athletic recruiting. Nothing. Sadler coming back on D-Lex to take it away.
Yeah, Sadler really making a difference on the defensive end. On offense, a little bit more of a role player, but gets an assist there.
Acuff, 24 points. What a performance.
And it was an easy 24 points, kind of a quiet 24 points by Acuff, because he has been unselfish today, and we've seen a lot of assists out of him as well.
Bradley has really played well in the second half for the Hawks.
Bradley totally picked up his pace, and then Hawks get a steal here. Now to the foul line they go.
Yeah, that's been the effort from them in the second half, Lexi. The score still is what it is, barring one of the greatest comebacks in the history of Saginaw Heritage basketball. They're going to lose tonight, but the effort has been there for the Hawks in the second half, and I think that coaching staff is just honestly wondering, I wonder if we had this in the first half.
Right. It's a totally different energy out of Saginaw Heritage. In the first half, too, it was kind of the OD show. Now in the second half, we've seen Bradley and some of these other players, Isom, step up and do some spectacular things in a few little moments of flashes as well.
One more coming for Charles Court. Got that one. He's made 4 free throws today. Number 30, Noah Arnold, is in for Saginaw Heritage as Cork sits down. Noah Arnold is a 6'7" freshman. The old sports cliche is true. There is room to grow. He can fill out that frame.
Yeah, and you know, you can't teach height.
You know, that's what they tell me. That's why I never played basketball past, I think, the 5th grade level. That's not true. I played in 8th grade.
I always felt at the high school level I was one of the tallest girls on the team. I even did jump ball, actually.
Wow.
But when I got to college, I was the second shortest. I'm like, wow, how the tables have turned. Everyone's tall in college.
This is a big Saginaw Heritage team. They got a bunch of guys above 6'2", but tonight Cass Tech's athleticism has just been too much. Isom, offensive foul, as Robertson stood tall in there.
And the height of Saginaw Heritage is why I would love to see them working it into the paint more on that possession that you just seen. They tried to, but we're just not getting enough entry passes and post-ups, like strong center-style post-ups, sealing the defense behind you and demanding the ball. We're not seeing much of that out of Saginaw Heritage today.
Here's Acuff. Those 24 points. Moving left. Felt like the whole defense surrounded him. Sean Hodges. Counted and one.
Hodges absorbing the contact like there was none. He didn't get faced by that foul at all. Here he comes in with a nice little hezzy, drives all the way in, takes the contact, but his eyes never leave the rim.
You could say he looked like a running back hitting the hole there, Lexi.
Oh, we've been talking about football a lot today. It's hard not to.
I mean, Sean Hodges is the running back on Cass Tech's football team. At least he was this year. Grand Valley commit. slip and a steal. Hairston wants it, but he gives it up. And a foul on Isom. Kenneth Robertson going to the line.
And even if Robertson hadn't gotten fouled and be heading to the line right now, it was still Cass Tech following and trailing for rebounding, getting one off weak side, grabbing a board. It would have been another 2 points right there for Cass Tech had the foul not been called, but they get a chance at 2 right here.
Here comes Robertson to the line. One of the starters for Cass Tech in this ball game tonight. 4 senior starters and 1 sophomore, Acuff. Stephen Hall, coach for Cass Tech, is pretty much playing everybody he's got on that bench. It's one of those games, Lexi, that just makes the whole team feel good, right? Everybody plays.
Yeah.
Healthy win. You go home with a smile on your face.
Exactly. And this is also a type of game where some of the guys on Cass Tech side who don't get too much playing time, now that they are seeing it today, they can really get more minutes off of a game like this and prove to coach that they're ready for it.
Whipped pass to the corner. Rubio still shooting, but he's only made 1 3 tonight.
There's been some really nice passing and ball movement out of Saginaw Heritage, just not enough converting.
On the go, tough take. Follow up, good for Lee Harris.
Lee Harris, way to have his hands ready on that drive, being ready for that dump down pass, getting it and going up strong.
Travel on Grayson Byam.
And Byam, a player for Saginaw Heritage who can get in here in these last few minutes and hopefully make a statement for himself, get some more playing time as the season goes along. And it's been interesting as Cass Tech's used so much of their bench. Saginaw Heritage, with such a small bench, didn't dip into it all too much.
This is Jalen Stanton for Cass Tech. Defense came, pass intercepted by Arnold. Byam gives it up to Arnold. No good, rebound Cass Tech. Here they come up the floor. Inside, tough roll out for Miller. Saginaw Heritage will track down the ball.
Ooh, yep.
That's the backcourt.
Tough mental mistake right there. Freshman style mistake a bit. But Saginaw Heritage here has to continue to fight in this game and not just lay down. They have to start ratcheting up this defense a little bit. We saw a bit of fire come back in the second half, and now it does kind of just look like they're playing slow.
Good look inside, and Lee Harris has another bucket.
Cass Tech dominating in the paint, especially off of transition. Saginaw Heritage just cannot keep up with the pace of the technicians.
OD will let it go. Man, how many times has Heritage had one roll in and out? It feels like at least 8.
Between Rubio and OD, it's been quite a few.
Miller for 2.
Just too easy for Cass Tech right now, way too easy. The defense doesn't know their assignments for Saginaw Heritage and manning up good enough.
Under 3 to go, and one heck of a win for Cass Tech, continuing to put the state on notice.
Rubio all of a sudden looking a little scared to shoot the basketball. He's been letting it fire all night and battling, shooting through those misses, but on that one, the defense actually sagged way off of it, tempting him to shoot that ball, and he didn't want to. He tried finding that entry pass inside instead.
Robertson out. Cass Tech brings a fresh body into the ball game. Believe it or not, Tristan Pierce has not played at all yet today. They did find a body on the bench who hasn't appeared yet. He is the 13th different man to play. OD working on Hodges. Got it back to Tyler OD. That is a great finish.
OD had a couple around the rim where he's got some beautiful finesse and smoothness at the rack. Just haven't gotten too many to drop down there, but that one goes. something cool about Cass Tech playing with such a deep bench, 13 guys in this game today, is that you haven't really noticed a drop-off. Sometimes when you're subbing so often, the rhythm kind of gets messed up and players have to adjust to the new players being in, but we haven't seen that today. It just is like a well-oiled machine no matter which substitute comes in.
You just keep on ticking, Lex, no matter who's in there.
Sure do.
Man, these rims at Cass Tech are tough sometimes, huh? They're just rolling out all over the place. Bradley, no. Rebound Technicians down low, and then they threw it off of a teammate. Pierce threw it off of the shoes of Walker, and it went out of bounds. Cass Tech will call a timeout. Let's take our last timeout of the broadcast. 2:04 to go. Cass Tech rounded out one heck of a win to round out a full day of hoops here in Detroit.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
Final couple of minutes of ball on a full day of it from Cass Tech. Evan and Lexi back with you to round out game 6 out of 6 today from Cass Tech. Started it off with the Cass Tech women against Wayne Memorial. Then Pershing played Bloomfield Hills. Douglas played Saginaw Arthur Hill. Henry Ford played Saginaw. King played Hamady. And this, our final game of the day, has been dominated by the home team. Couple of cracks on offense remaining for Heritage. Bradley, no. Rebound Technicians, they're pushing. Why the heck not? Derek Miller for 2.
It's just, again, too easy for Cass Tech. And what's interesting as well about Saginaw Heritage's size, they're kind of lengthy, they're tall, but they just don't got much weight on them either. So it is hard. I know OD was working hard on the last possession, trying to post up down low, but he just doesn't quite have the strength to stick and seal on the block.
Under 90 seconds to go. Cass Tech looking for late highlights. They'll get one with Tristan Pierce. Anything you learned about Cass Tech today, Lexi, that you think the rest of the state needs to know about these guys?
That they love to run in transition, and everybody that plays them better have their conditioning up to get their booty back on defense and play some D. It's just been too easy for Cass Tech tonight.
I mean, looking at their upcoming schedule here, they got to play Grand Rapids Northview, couple of days at the Roundball Classic at Ferndale, and then the meat of that Public School League schedule starts. They actually have a trip up to Traverse City St. Francis right at the beginning of February. Yeah, this is a good club. This is a team that made the quarters last year, lost to Belleville, 1 game away from making the Final Four in the Breslin Center, and it's definitely a team, Lexi, that has got the talent, got the reinforcements, the firepower to make a similar run again this year.
That's right, and Cass Tech really has all the ingredients that they need for a recipe of success because they have the talent and skill, but they also have just the hustle and the grit and that dirtiness about basketball that they're playing with. And most importantly, the conditioning is way up.
Multi-sport guys on Cass Tech. We've talked about Hodges, Sadler, the couple of football guys, but you look at the quote-unquote basketball specialists here. Obviously, Acuff is a heck of a player, but Walker and Hairston played really well today. It's a lot to like with this team. It's a lot to like with Tyler Odie as well for Heritage. He scored 19 points in this game. Another 2 points for Miller, who's going to end up in double figures. Just one of those games for Saginaw Heritage. You take the good that you can, but really try to flush all the bad. It's just been a frustrating night.
Yeah, there's always things that you can learn from a loss, but a loss like this, sometimes you kind of just want to say, hey, you know what? We didn't give up. We didn't lie down. Let's just get on to the next one.
One final free throw is about to come for Pryor. A couple of them anyway. Again, while we got a second, let's thank our crew who's been helping us out these last couple of games of the day. Robert, Evan, Christian, Austin, Rob, David, Chris, thank you. Chad Bush and I were calling the first handful of games today. Of course, Evan Westfall, Alex Westfall, part of our crew. Alex, our executive producer, had to hightail it over to Ferndale. Flip on over to that game once this one ends. Ferndale St. Mary's. Full slate of games tomorrow again at Detroit Renaissance, starting at 12:45. And the Mumford ladies will take on Harper Woods. One final inbound, and they forgot to start the clock.
And I think both teams are thinking, that's the most important thing right now, okay? Just start the clock.
Let's all go home.
Yeah.
The game has been decided. Let's all go home, get a meal, get a shower, and try again tomorrow.
And 50 points isn't horrible at all by any means for Saginaw Heritage. They were just never able to execute the sequence of score, stop, score. There was not nearly enough stops.
There's your ball game. Cass Tech, one of the finer teams in the state of Michigan, putting everybody on notice. How about a 31-point win over Saginaw Heritage? Wrapping up the full day of hoops with one heck of a performance. For Lexi and our entire crew, Evan Stockton saying so long. Good night. Cass Tech, 81-50, the final over Heritage. We'll see you tomorrow over at Renaissance High and go catch the final of that St. Mary's Ferndale game.